Hi, today I thought I'd take you through the process that I go through when I create a cover for my book and look at the process that I use or used for the creation of Lorelei, along with the images which were almost there but didn't quite make it to the end. So at the beginning, having completed my book, I write a short pitch and a mood board, create a mood board of images. So there's a couple of different pictures that you can see here of the nature images of some of the things, places where it was set, and a couple of the characters. I give a couple of clues, in this case about using red and black in particular, as their thematic colours throughout, alongside a forest green. And then I hand over to my wonderful friends at Blush Create, the design company, and they come back with a series of images, as you can see here, from which I can choose which I want to develop into the final book cover. So there's a number of different approaches which are tried each time I do one of my new books, and at this stage I tend to knock it down to my favourite 3 or 4, which I think are appropriate for the content of the book, also for the sales of the book, and don't seem too similar to other titles out there in competition. So in this case I narrowed it down quite quickly to these different primary designs, which I sent out to my beta readers and my friends to get their take as well. One of the most difficult or frustrating things is I quite often have a favourite cover for the book which doesn't end up there, but I have to remember at all stages that I'm not the audience, I'm not the person buying these books. So I actually need something which is going to appeal to the audience rather than to myself. So in this case we narrowed it down to the girl's fractal face and this other rather wonderful image which I liked, which harks back to Orwell. In my day, a lot of Eastern European posters and imagery, but if you look quite closely at the shapes within it, at the eye and the shape of the face, it's a parallel to my cover for Man in the Bath, but also shows a girl falling and shows the shape of a ghost. So I had a little tinker around and updated it to emphasize those elements as well, and sent that and the face fractal picture, which ended up there, out to my beta readers again to get their opinion. Unfortunately, or fortunately as the case may be, they overwhelmingly chose the fractal pictures. So finally what I then need to do was look at the layout of the title, at the different types of font which could be used, and at the breakdown of colours to see which was the most effective. And this was the image that I ended up with. I then have one final thing to decide on, which I haven't decided yet. You're in at the decision-making stage. When I create the wraparound cover to upload for the printers, you then try to match the main colours with the spine and the back of the book. In this case I had a choice of the black, which looks a little bit like this, or the red, which looks a little bit like this. I've sent a proof copy off to get it delivered to have a look and see which I prefer, but it'll be one of these that you finally see, and that's the process which I went through in creating the cover for Lorelei.